Wait, are you there?
You there, sir?
Yeah, you're live on the Sparky Milarky show.
Hey, what's going on, Spark?
Not much, man. Just looking all over the house for a phone charger, and not a phone charger, a battery charger for my camera, and I can't find it, so I'm freaking out, and I just told my fiance, that's it. I'm done for the day. I'm furious, freaking out now. I'm done for the day, and I asked a couple people to be on fonezone today, and they all texted back like, I can't, man, I'm busy, I'm working. And my girl was just like, I'm working. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they think I'm over here friggin' scratching my legs. You know what I'm saying? I'm working too. I told one guy, I said, what are you, the president of the United States over there? I said, I'm working too.
What are you working on, the Milarky show?
Fuck you. Yes, I am actually.
I'm getting a lot of interested people talking about the show, and I give them, the call-in information. I don't know if they've called in, but
well, not to cut you off, but I'm saying I get a lot of different interesting people that I had no idea watch the show. Shout out to Pam, Jacob's mom. She made a comment. I said, oh my God, she watches the show. There's so many different people that watch the show. Now, I'm glad you called in. It's very funny because guess who I just called? I just called Big Cat, Frankie Catalanato, 13-year vet, major leagues, and he big leagued me. He didn't pick up. He probably was smart. He ducked it. And I was like, bro, call me back. The people want to hear your voice.
Yeah, no, it's tough to get him on the show. He's in high demand, you know.
I know. He's gonna want a G to talk for 5 minutes.
He's got a little bit of an ego, so I don't know if he'll call in.
I love you. Well, you called right in his spot. So for me, no, but I think
I'm a much more interesting caller than he would be. He's kind of a dud. He doesn't, he doesn't really have, now that is, he doesn't really have too good of a personality on radio. He's like Derek Jeter. He always gives the answers that you want to hear. Me, I don't do that. I'm honest.
First of all, I want to say a couple things. That is not true about Frankie Cat. That's the stereotype about Frankie Cat. And even Derek Jeter. People think they're duds, but they're not. Frankie Cat has a great personality. He's a pisser.
He's a great personality, yes, Cat, but on radio, he's like Derek Jeter. He always says what you want to hear. Right. I'm sick of it.
Doesn't he? All right, well, listen, I already told him. I said, I seen you get thrown out of a game at Yankee Stadium, and you threw the helmet down, and I think the ump got the call right. And he said, oh, yeah, you think so? The other day, Sunday, at Prospect. What was I going to say to you? I called... Dude.
It's funny that you say that, because a few days before that, I spoke to Frankie on the phone, and I had told him, you gotta make yourself known a little bit more. You're a great player. You've been in the league a long time. I said you gotta make yourself known. I want to see highlights on you on SportsCenter. I want to see you get thrown out of the game. I want to see you go crazy. And what does he do? He listens to his boy. A few days later, he flips out and he gets thrown out. That's my boy.
Oh, so you had spoke with him a couple days before that game? You know what I'm talking about?
Of course I do. You can even ask him. You can even talk to him about that. Now, obviously, I don't think he did it because of me, but maybe a few words that I said maybe kind of triggered that brain a little bit to go busy.
Bro, let me tell, not to get too religious, but God works in mysterious ways, and you grew up very godly, so you gave him the power to come out of his shell and let the umpire know it doesn't matter if you're out or safe. If you need to black out on an umpire, you need to black out on an umpire.
Yeah. Are you live with the headphones on and everything?
Yeah, right now.
Oh, wow, that's great.
But here's the thing. What was I gonna say? Frankie Cat. Oh, you know what? No. Listen, I told him.
You remember a guy named Brian Dorsey?
Yeah, I caught him barehanded back when I worked with him at the Long Island Baseball Academy, Sal Augustinelli's. I caught him barehanded. He used to pitch for St. John's University.
Listen, you gotta call him up, man. He is a great he's a listener, and I'm sure he would love to call in on the show. So, if you could give him a call.
Is he still boffing Angst's sister?
He's still, yes. Him and my brother-in-laws.
Oh, he married her.
Yeah, well, yeah, he married Katie. He's having his fourth kid.
I apologize. I was only kidding. It was comedy. I'm really not like that. Hey, Pete, listen. What I want to say is I caught him, Katie's husband. I think his name. What's his name? His first name, Angst.
Brian?
Oh, Brian Angst. I caught him in college.
Oh,
he gave up eight.
No.
He gave up 18 runs one day in a single inning. No, in 2 innings. And I came to the dugout, and the guy who was keeping the pitch count said something to me, and I threw my mask down, and the coach took me out of the game because he gave up 18 runs in 2. I don't know that.
Brian Dorsey, right?
I'm talking about this kid, Mark Angst.
No, I don't know Mark Angst.
He married. Oh. Dorsey married Angst's sister. That's how it went.
Yes.
Okay. Because I remember Brian Dorsey was standing there at that game when it happened with her.
Yeah.
Mark Angst gave up 18 runs in 2 innings. It was the all-time worst Sparky Miller catching experience in my whole life. Just so you know, he was standing right there.
You never really were too good at blocking balls, though, if I remember. I remember you being a cat back there, but blocking balls was a little bit tough for you. Was that true? Your hair always got in the way.
Let me tell you something. I love that you said that because in my old age, I take criticism well. And if you are correct, it's really funny you say that because in college, a curveball got by me because I didn't judge the curveball, the angle that when it hits the ground, it kicks back. And it hit my arm. I was in excruciating pain, this nerve here, for 2 weeks. And the coach made me block 200 balls the next day in practice. So now I block balls like a beast. That's number 1. Number 2, Danny Linder, shout out to Danny Linder, was on my first Suffolk Community College stint with Jimmy Gels. He was a security guard at the college then, and he told me, don't you know the curveball kicks back a significant amount, and you have to, what's the word? Adapt, adjust, compensate for that. And then that will never happen to me again. And I get my chest over my knees. Bro, I'm a beast behind the plate. I think I'm the best around. Like Wesley.
You probably are now. You got a good build now, and you probably can block everything. You know who's another good guy? I was just thinking of, not to cut you off, but another guy you might want to call in on is Greg Arnold. Shout out to Greg.
Bro, I have 3 perfect games with Greg Arnold under my belt. I just said on my show the other day, I blame Coach Jimmy Svita and Coach Dan Corrigan. Now, I love them, but I blame them for not bringing home the title with the likes of myself behind the plate, Greg Arnold on the mound, and Paul Ciafrone in right field. Give me those 3 guys, I'm winning 3 titles.
Do you know Greg Arnold is a doctor now?
I talked to him. He told me I'm the best catcher that he ever threw to. And, yeah, he's a doctor. I think he went to Princeton. As soon as this snow melts, me and him are going out there. I bought a new catcher's glove just for him. And do you know the first time I ever saw him pitch at Gibbs Pond Park? He broke the catcher's stitch. And I turned to my pop. I said, hey, Dad, that guy that I'm catching this year, I was in street clothes chilling. I go, he just popped a stitch. It was unreal.
Are we getting dinner or what?
I just called Brian Gels. He big leagued me. Frankie Cat and Brian Gels big leagued me today. And, they're busy, like you said. They're busy guys. But Brian better get back to me because you want to go Thursday or Friday?
Probably Thursday.
All right, I love you. I'll see you tonight. You working or no?
No.
All right, we'll call up after dinner for the dessert edition. Skills.
You got dessert tonight?
Yes.
What's on the menu?
Raspberry truffle strudel over vanilla ice cream.
Wow.
With a little bit of Grey Goose vodka. You just sprinkle a little bit on top.
Wow.